Can you guys all bother? Because here's the beauty. Carl's not lazy like you pieces of shit. I know none of you fucking losers will fucking clip my show.
Follow Mike's comedy at...
By the way, if any of you gave money to that GoFundMe, you're an idiot.
48 hours. Did I panic? And yeah, I screamed really loud when I won because it was fun. A comedy show.
Mike's comedy edits.
It's a nightmare. When I used to say, when I ran strip clubs, you know, even because we owned, my company owned clubs here. Like they owned like 9 businesses in the greater Tampa area. And then we owned like probably 1 in St. Pete. We owned like 3 in Clearwater. And then we owned like, we kept gobbling up everything along the I-9 corridor. I'm sorry, not I-9, the US 19 corridor. We would gobble up any club that was in like financial straits because our owner had tons of money. Russian Jew. So whenever there was an issue, there was just me and then my other buddy who was above me in the company. And I wasn't even on I was considered on an office level when they needed me to be in the office. But when I wanted to be office, they wouldn't give me the respect I needed to be office. I was basically Gopher Boy for the office, but on a club level. So there'd be times like late at night, right? I'd be drunk, I'd be doing Molly, I'd be all fucking smoking weed, and so would my buddy. And it was our off time. Like it was our night off, and we'd get a call, and we'd be like in Ybor partying. And then somebody would go, here's Ybor, boom, right? We'd be in Ybor partying, and they'd go, hey, we need you to make some runs to some of the clubs tonight. And we're like, what? And he'd be like, we need you to go to, boom, Clearwater. We need you to go to Bliss. Then we need you to go to Emperor's. And then we need you to go to fucking whatever was up in Hollywood. And we used to have to go up and it got to a point where that's where I invented the phrase. I was like, dude, Pasco is like a mouth to the gateway of hell. Like, I don't want to go there anymore. Like, I don't feel safe. Even when I bring a gun, I don't feel safe. And it's just gross, and I don't like it, and I don't want to go. And they always send us on these little missions. And it was never, like, because during the day, if, like, a club needed some bottles of champagne and liquor, like, snuck over there, and, like, some money and some cash and singles and some other shit that would be a really easy robbery. Like, during the day, it's easy. You're like, yeah, just call corporate. They'll get a van over here. It's insured and they'll blah, blah, blah. But it would always be at like fucking 1 a.m. and they'd be like, if you don't get it there in a half hour, we're going to lose so much money. And like, we would have to drive with like, legit, like me and my buddy smoking a blunt in either his car or my car. Usually his car, because my car was a cop magnet. Because he was smart. He bought like a regular shitty pickup truck that just blended in everywhere. And I had like the Infinity with the 20-inch low profiles that was a coupe, and it just looked like a drug dealer car. So we'd usually take his car, and we'd just be smoking a blunt, going across the fucking, we usually go across this. We go across the Sunshine Skyway. And just fucking, dude, we'd have to go. Bliss was fun. We'd go to all these little stops, drop off things they needed. And then when we had when we go into this fucking, we go along the purple route all the way into the red. Whew, buddy. It's not great. It's not fucking great. And there was just a few times that I was like, bro, me and him are both armed, you know? And like one time I remember the joke, my boss even said to me, I was like, we don't feel comfortable doing this shit at 1 a.m. Wild shit goes up, like cowboy shit. Like 1970s casino level movie shit goes on some nights when people know who you are. They see you at the clubs every night. They see we're moving from one point. You know, one guy in Ybor could see us leaving in a rush, and then another guy that knows that guy could see us going into a club and then see us leaving that club with some bags, and then we could be just bouncing around town. And word gets out within an hour, and like we get fucking XXX stationed in a fucking, in Tarpon Springs. I don't need that in my life. So I used to fight with them. Like, we're not doing that anymore, bro. We only did runs like that like 3 or 4 times. And everything we did was legal. Nothing we were doing was illegal. We weren't doing drugs. This wasn't some drug cowboy shit. It was just cowboy strip club. Like, this club's not like fucking, whatever, the manager fucked up. They don't have enough to make, they have a $10,000 sale right now they can't make. We need 4 bottles of Cristal and fucking singles and like all that kind of shit. And it was like, we're not doing this anymore because they didn't give us any extra money or anything. Like, we got paid obscenely anyway, just base, but it was like, I don't want to do this. So long story short, sorry, I was venting.